This is Caden Reinhardt at the free throw line for UNLV. Los Angeles Times High School Player of the Year last year for Mater Dei. Comes from the Dana Point area of Southern California.
He was a confident player in high school, 21 points a game as a senior. He played 4 years on the varsity and lost 7 games, and all 4 years his team won 30 plus. So he's used to being a winner, and he comes in here with a lot of confidence as a young player.
And UNLV's leading free throw shooter, over 90%, hits them both here to make it a 7-point game. And a whistle down low. Now coming up in our halftime report, Syracuse takes down #1 Louisville. One of many games featuring top-ranked teams in college basketball today. We'll also have a look at NHL opening day and scores and highlights from around the country.
So a 5-second violation to get the ball inbounded. So each team has had one of those. We'll call that one a draw. But well defended on the out-of-bounds play that time by the Rebels.
And not surprising, the way these two teams play defense, just so tenacious. UNLV in the bonus the rest of this first half, now under 3 to go. Bryce Jones against Hornung. Bejarano. UNLV continues to struggle from the field, and for a team that is one of the top scoring clubs in the Mountain West Conference, how surprised are you, Blaine?
I'm very surprised. I'm not surprised at how well Colorado State has played defense. You know that when you play the Rams, every shot is going to be contested, but I get the sense UNLV is rushing shots a little bit. Yeah, they're contended. Go up, make your shot, take your time, and be patient. And that's what I think UNLV needs to do. But remember, this is a team that was down in San Diego State and came back. They know how to win on the road, and I would not be surprised if there's a run or two in UNLV.
Anthony Bennett with the miss. Marshall takes it back up. A lot of their misses have been bad ones for the Rebels. Part of that is the forced shots, but also the good defense by the Rams. Under 2 left to go, first half of play. Colorado State has led most of the way, and Pierce Hornung draws the foul.
Back and watch offensive execution. Here's the pick and roll. Hornung on the pick, rolls to the basket, a beautiful bounce pass, and you get the easy bucket. That is just textbook. 2-man game with Dorian Green and Pierce Hornung, and a couple of veteran players. This Colorado State team, one of the most experienced teams in the country.
Hornung now at the free throw line. Senior from Arvada, Colorado, but has sports in his DNA. His father played football at Colorado and here at Colorado State, and his grandfather played basketball at Marquette.
Talk about picking it up in conference games. Pierce Hornung is a guy who was already a great rebounder, but now he's averaging 11.5 rebounds a game in conference. And just, he goes after every single board on both ends of the floor.
And Larry Eustace told us that he really compares him as a rebounder to Dennis Rodman. Now, in any other walk of life, to be compared to Dennis Rodman would not be a good thing. But as far as rebounding,
that's a very big compliment, no doubt.
You bet.
Nobody did it better.
8-point lead for the Rams. Jones walked with the ball.
And Dave Rice would like to know, can have an explanation. It looked like he took 2 steps, a beautiful spin move, and there was contact at the end.
A minute and a half now left to go in our first half of play. Overall impressions.
Physical ball game. Rebounding has been important. And offensively, Colorado State's getting what they want. They wanted this to be a half-court game. They're executing with their veteran team well in the half-court. And getting UNLV to play a half-court game has been a benefit. That's why they have the lead.
Shot clock down to 8. There's Dorian Green pulling up for 3. And guess who?
You better block out, and you better block out big against this Colorado State team, because they're going to go after the offensive glass with relentless pursuit.
Here's Hornung now with 7 points. Marshall kicks it out. Hawkins lining up a 3, and he plants advance it.
And that's a huge shot by Justin Hawkins, and they needed that. And he took his time that time. He was open. He didn't rush it. He set his feet. He elevated and knocked down the three. And that was a big answer that the Running Rebels needed on the road.
Half a minute to go in the first half of play. And just about all Colorado State leading most of the way here in the first 20. They're going to try and take it down as far as possible. Shot clock at 10. Dorian Green has to force it up. Moser, the rebound. And the whistle. Foul's going to be on Colorado State.
Let's go back and watch what it's like down in the offensive end. Watch Hornung moving. You see Smith coming through. You've got to find it. You can't just turn to the front of the rim and go to the basketball. When the ball goes up, you've got to find a white shirt, and then you got to plaster a backside on that white shirt and make sure that you have inside position. Ideally, you'd like that ball to come off the rim and land on the floor if it can, if you've got inside position. On that last one, and the reason Mike Moser is at the line, great inside position. He got an offensive board. I mean, a defensive board.
Moser hitting the front end of the 1-and-1. A guy who thought about heading to the NBA draft after last season, decided to come back.
And talking to Dave Rice about the effect that this elbow injury has had on Moser, says maybe the biggest impact has been on his ability to rebound, because Moser's so good at tracking rebounds out of his area with those long arms, and he can still not extend that right arm all the way out, and he doesn't have the strength in that right hand, so he's not getting the production and rebounding that he would as a healthy Mike Moser.
Kem Birch coming in for the final 10.3 of our first half. Dorian Green, poked away by Anthony Marshall. Now Marshall hoists it up, blocked by Hornung at the buzzer. Hornung all over the floor in the first half. And Colorado State with the 5-point lead at the break. Big half for Dorian Green. 11 points to lead all scorers. And our halftime score, Colorado State 31, UNLV 26. The studio on the other side of this commercial break.
Tomorrow, Claude Giroux leads Philly into Buffalo to take on Ryan Miller and the Sabres. Then at night, Tays and the Blackhawks take on the